Bhanenu Bagdaji to please come on stage and felicitate our guest of honor with Safa. Would like to request Suresh Ji, President of 40 and Rajasthan Association of Kenya Chairman Dr. Sonveer Singh Ji to please come on stage and felicitate guest of honor with a scarf. Thank you so much. Would like to request 40 members, Sanjay Ji and Secretary of Rajasthan Association of Kenya, Vivek Ji, to please come on stage and felicitate the guest with a memento.
Camera is this side. Camera is this side. This side. Camera this side. CS.
Would like to request our chief guest for the day, Her Excellency Namgya Khampa, High Commissioner of India to Kenya, to kindly come on stage. I would like to request Lalita Ji, General Secretary 40 Women, and Nirmala Ji, founders of Rajasthan Association of Kenya, to please come on stage and felicitate the guest with Safa. I would like to request Aradhna Ji and Neelam Ji Mittal to kindly come on stage and felicitate the guest with scarf. Also, Usha Agrawal Ji, please come on stage, who is Senior Advisor of 40 Women Wing, and Chandra Prakash Ji, Vice Chairman of RAK, with a memento to present to the guest.
इसको बनाना है मोरावाड़ी की जगह PS मैडम Aurelia Rono from the Prime Cabinet Secretary ये है ना मैडम मेरे ले लो फोन मैडम Aurelia PS लगाना पहले उसका जो मोरावाड़ी का करवा रहे
I would like to request our guest, PS, Madam Aurelia Rono, to please come on stage. Madam Aurelia Rono, PS. Would like to request Mr. I.C. Agrawal, patron of 40, and Jagdish Tagji, who is Treasurer of Rajasthan Association of Kenya, to kindly come on stage and felicitate the guest with pagdi. Would like to request IC Agrawal ji and Jagdish Tak ji to present a scarf and a memento to the guest. Thank you so much. I would like to request Dr. Swaroop Mishra, former MP, Kisses County, Eldoret, Kenya, to kindly come on stage. You're most welcome, sir. Would like to request Tusharji Bagda, who is Assistant Secretary of Rajasthan Association of Kenya, and Manisha Arora ji to kindly come on stage and felicitate the guest with pagdi. Shri Ravindra ji and Dheeraj Vijayvargiya ji kindly come on stage to present scarf and memento to the guest. Thank you so much, Mishra ji. Kindly take your seat. Now I would like to call upon Dr. Sonveer Singh Chaudhary, who is founder chairman of Rajasthan Association of Kenya, vice national chairman of Hindu Council, and chairman of SKL Groups, to please come on stage and take his seat. Would like to request Mr. Dheeraj Srivastav to kindly come on stage. Would like to request Mr. Suresh Agrawal to kindly come on stage and felicitate Mr. Dheeraj Srivastav with a pagdi. And Bajrang Singh Rathore ji to kindly come on stage for felicitating the guests. Would like to request Mr. Surja Ramji to please come on stage. He is trustee for Team Nairobi. Mr. Rafiq Khan, kindly come on stage. Rafiq Khan is chairman, Rajasthan State Commission of Minorities, MLA Adarsh Nagar, Jaipur. Would like to call upon stage Mr. IC Agrawal, patron 40. Also Mr. Suresh Agrawal, President of Federation of Trade and Industries. Thank you so much, honorable guest. We would like to start our program officially with the national anthem. Kindly stand, kindly rise for the national anthem of Kenya, followed by India. Thank you so much. Kindly take your seats. I would like to call upon stage Dr. Sonveer Singh Ji, Founder Chairman of Rajasthan Association of Kenya, Vice National Chairman of Hindu Council, and Chairman of SKL Groups to kindly address the audience.
Good morning and hearty greetings all of you. Her Excellency Madam P.S., Her Excellency Honorable High Commissioner Kamfa, and other government officials working under the radiant, brilliant, and efficient dynamic leadership of His Excellency Honorable William Ruto, Honorable the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Health, Honorable Alfred, Principal Secretary of Trade, Honorable Rajiv Arora, Minister of State, Rajasthan Tourism Development Corporation of India, Chairman, Small Scale Industries Corporation and Export Promotion Council of Rajasthan, Honorable Dheeraj Srivastava, Commissioner of Rajasthan Foundation, Government of India, MLA, Chairman of Minority of Rajasthan, Honorable Dr. Bimal Kantaria, the Chairman of Elgon, Kenya, Trustee of Hindu Council of Kenya, Trustee of Jalaram Medical Service, Chairman of Agri-Businesses East Africa, Chairman of United Asian Network, Honorable Suresh Agrawal, President of Federation of Trade and Industries. I want to also recognize presence of Mr. Jotham, Deputy Director of SBM Bank, and Mr. B.S. Sharma, MD of Ken India Assurance Limited, and Mr. Jiten Chalani, Country Director of Blueberry. And all exhibitors and dignitaries from India, and from different country, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you all on behalf of Rajasthan Association of Kenya, REPC and 40 to the opening ceremony of Indo-East Africa Trade Expo 2023. I'm very honored and grateful to have you here today. Ladies and gentlemen, we have gathered here for the noble purpose of the strengthening and political and economic relationship between Kenyan and Kenya, and equally between India and Indians. We as Indians will be ever grateful to Africa because the father of and hero of India dependence, namely Mahatma Gandhi, got the idea and spirit of the independence from South Africa. He brought through non-violence and proved to the world at large that the non-violence preached by Jesus Christ is more powerful instrument than any other instrument of the world. The relationship between Kenya and India, Africa is forever. This expo is a terrific opportunity for the business community here and the public to meet with the representatives from India and East Africa. I once again welcome you all to opening ceremony of East Africa Trade Expo 2023. Thank you very much. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now I would like to call upon stage Mr. Suresh Agrawal, President of Federation of Trade and Industries, to come and address the audience.
Namaskar. Honorable PS Ma'am, REPC के चेयरमैन सम्मान्य श्री राजीव अरोड़ा जी, मिस नमग्यासी खम्पा, हाई कमिश्नर ऑफ इंडिया केनिया, ऑनरेबल डॉक्टर स्वरूप मिश्रा जी, फॉर्मर MP, Dr. Sonveer Singh ji, President, Rajasthan Association of Kenya, Mr. Alfrende K. Ombodo, the Principal Secretary of Investment, Trade and Industries, Republic of Kenya, Shri Dheeraj Srivastava ji, Chairman, Rajasthan Foundation, Rajasthan, 40 के Chief Sarakshak, Shri Surjaram ji Mail, 40 के चीफ संरक्षक श्री IC अग्रवाल जी, हमारे अपने चीफ संरक्षक साथ ही अल्पसंख्यक आयोग के चेयरमैन श्री रफीक खान जी, श्री PR शर्मा जी, श्री मनीषा मैम, today we gather here to celebrate a strong relationship between India and Kenya. Event organized by 40 and Rajasthan Export Promotion Council with support of Rajasthan Association of Kenya and KNCCI. Bring together 175 exhibitors from Rajasthan. 40 is a federation of Rajasthan Trade and Industries. In 40, we have 15,000 direct members and 2 lakh indirect members. 40 goal is to promote economic growth as well as promotion of export, import, and provided a platform for businessmen and investors. This exhibition brings together industry leaders and visionary to create partnership and opportunity for successful ventures. These exhibitions aim to foster innovation, development, and unlock the potential with our country. Explore various industries, including technology, education, manufacturing, agriculture, healthcare, and tourism. इस एग्जीबिशन को सफल बनाने में या यहाँ तक लाने में हमारे बहुत सारे साथियों का सहयोग है, कुछ लोगों का डायरेक्ट, कुछ लोगों का इनडायरेक्ट। कुछ एग्जीबिटर जिन्होंने बहुत हौसलों के साथ, जिन्होंने कभी अफ्रीका देखा ही नहीं था, अफ्रीका सोचा ही नहीं था, मोर देन 95% लोग ऐसे हैं जो फर्स्ट टाइम इंडिया से उड़ के अफ्रीका की तरफ से आए हैं। मैं उन सभी का आभार व्यक्त करना चाहता हूं, उन सभी को धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं और खास धन्यवाद इस पूरे प्रोग्राम को करने के लिए एक 8 जनों की टीम जो सब अपना बिजनेस कर रहे थे, सब अपना बिजनेस कर रहे हैं। उन 8 लोगों ने पूरी मेहनत करके 5-6 महीने में यहाँ तक पहुँचाया। यहाँ के काम की सारी जिम्मेवारी राजस्थान एसोसिएशन ऑफ केनिया ने ली। इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को यहाँ पे सफलतापूर्वक करने के लिए, यहाँ विजिटर को लाने के लिए, तो इसके लिए मैं राजस्थान एसोसिएशन ऑफ केनिया की टीम श्री सोनवीर जी और उनको भी बधाई देता हूँ। जो हमारी 8 जनों की टीम है, जिसमें नीलम मित्तल जी, मनीष अग्रवाल जी, धीरज श्रीवास्तव साहब, रविंद्र अग्रवाल जी, रविंद्र सोनी जी और हमारे मनीष अग्रवाल जी, प्रशांत शर्मा जी, इन सब ने बड़ी कड़ी मेहनत की है। उनको भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ, धन्यवाद देता हूँ। थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक यू। खोल दे पंख मेरा कहता है परिंदा, खोल दे पंख मेरे कहता है परिंदा, अभी और उड़ान बाकी है। जमीन नहीं मंजिल मेरी, अभी पूरा आसमान बाकी है। थैंक यू, जय हिंद, थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, Mr. Suresh Agrawal. We are delighted to have 2 special personalities in the guest with us, and we would like to request Dr. Kishan Gehlot, Chairman of KG Group of Industries, to kindly come on stage. Also, Dr. Bimal Kantaria, Chairman of Elgon Kenya, Trustee of Hindu Council of Kenya, Trustee of Jalaram Medical Service, Chairman of Agribusiness Confederation of East Africa, and Chairman of United Asian Network, to kindly come on stage and join us. Dr. Kishan Gehlot and Dr. Bimal Kantaria, we're delighted to have you here with us. Now I would like to call upon Mr. Dheeraj Srivastav, Commissioner of Rajasthan Foundation, Government of India, to kindly come and address the audience.
Ram Ram, Khamagadi, Namaskar. A very warm and hearty good morning to all the distinguished guests, respected and most honorable, our PS Aurelia C. Rono ma'am, the High Commissioner of India, Mr. Rajiv Arora, Chairman, Rajasthan Export Promotion Council, Shri Rafiq Khan ji, Member of Legislative Assembly and the Chairman of Minority Commission, Rajasthan, Shri Sonveer Singh ji, Chairman of Rajasthan Association of Kenya, Shri Suresh Agrawal ji, President of Federation of Rajasthan Trade and Industry, distinguished guests, members from Rajasthani Diaspora, esteemed exhibitors and fellow participants. Kenya, a land of breathtaking beauty and rich cultural heritage, has captivated my senses from the moment I have arrived here. Every encounter has been an opportunity to learn and appreciate the depth of Kenyan heritage, and I am grateful for the chance to immerse myself in this cultural tapestry. It is an honor to be here today. I extend my warm greetings to all the guests, and I must appreciate the efforts of the organizing committee of 40, REPC, and Rajasthan Association of Kenya for putting together this remarkable event. I think the Indo-East Africa Trade Expo 2023 provides a vital platform for strengthening trade relations and fostering economic ties between India and East African countries. This expo offers an ideal networking environment to forge new connections and explore avenues for growth and mutual benefit. I am sure the fact that this collaborative effort between the Rajasthan Association of Kenya, 40, REPC, KNCCI will create enormous opportunities for businesses, for entrepreneurs, not only from Kenya, but also from other East African nations. On the similar note, Rajasthan government, under the dynamic leadership of Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot and the dynamic Mr. Rajiv Arora, Chairman of REPC, sitting here at the dais, the government of Rajasthan also organized a similar Rajasthan International Expo in Jodhpur few months back, a 3-day event which brought nearly together more than 150 exhibitors across the country. The presence of Rajasthan Foundation and Rajasthan Export Promotion Council at this expo reflects our unwavering commitment to promoting bilateral trade and cultural exchange between India and East Africa. Kenya has a large minority of Indians, and Rajasthan Foundation recognizes the importance of non-resident Rajasthanis as an integral part of Rajasthan as well as Kenya, and it seeks to address their unique needs and concerns while strengthening the bonding and relationship with the state. The Rajasthan Foundation's vision under Government of Rajasthan's Chief Minister is to establish, strengthen and sustain the relationship between Rajasthan and its diaspora while preserving their culture, heritage and identity. Rajasthan Foundation recognizes that engaging with NRRs can generate mutual benefits for the people of Rajasthan as well as NRRs themselves. Government of Rajasthan actively encourages economic partnerships and investments from the Rajasthani diaspora. I encourage all participants to make the most of this platform, explore potential partnerships, and contribute to the growth and development of trade relations between Rajasthan and East Africa. Thank you once again for the opportunity to be here, and I wish everyone a successful and fruitful Indo-East Africa Trade Expo 2023. Last but not the least, I am truly touched and overwhelmed by the outpouring love and warmth that Kenya has bestowed upon me and all our team members from Rajasthan. While Indian hospitality is renowned worldwide, the culture of Kenya and the genuine affection in the hearts of its people have deeply touched my soul, and I am forever grateful for this beautiful and heartwarming experience. Thank you very much and all the best to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now I would like to call upon Mr. Rajiv Arora, Minister of State, Rajasthan Tourism Development Corporation, Government of Rajasthan, India, to please come and address the audience. He is also Chairman, Raj Small Industries Corporation and Chairman of Rajasthan Export Promotion Council.
Namaskar, Khamagani. For today's event, we have very distinguished guests with us. Her Excellency Suzanne Nakumicha. I welcome you, ma'am. Alfred K. Ambodo, Principal Secretary, Department of Investment. My colleague and friend, Shri Rafiq Khan, MLA and Chairman Minority Commission of Rajasthan. Indian High Commissioner here in Kenya, Mrs. Namgya C. Khamia, Dr. Sarup Mishra, ex-member of Parliament and a dear friend, Shri Suresh Agarwal, Chairman 40, because of him, we are all here. Shri Somveer Singh Ji, Chairman, Rajasthan Association of Kenya, Shri Dheeraj Srivastav, Commissioner Rajasthan Foundation, Dr. Manisha Arora, MD Rasiko, Shri Sudha Ramji, Patron 40, Shri IC Agarwal ji, my dear friend, an old friend from last 30 years, Kishan Gehlot, who has made his fortune in Nairobi in Kenya. Also Dr. Vimal Kataria ji, distinguished guests, ladies, gentlemen, and friends. I am delighted to be here today at the inaugural of the INDO East Africa Trade Expo in Nairobi. REPC, my organization, is also co-sponsor, co-organizer of this event. And I also like to convey best wishes for success of our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Ashok Gehlot, to all the participants here. There was a long-felt need for an international mechanism in Rajasthan between the importing countries and industrial associations. Our Chief Minister, Shri Ashok Gehlot ji, understood the need and established the Rajasthan Export Promotion Council. This is the only Export Promotion Council which deals with various multi-projects. This council is not made for a particular commodity, but for all the exports what we do from Rajasthan. He understood the need and formed this council to bridge the gap between the importing countries and the exporters from Rajasthan. It is the first time in the history of export from Rajasthan that during last 5 years, the exports have grown substantially, drastically. We have reached 77,700 crores of export last year, which is more than 50% from 2018. So it's a great opportunity for exporters who have come to Kenya here. This event is testimony of the growing economic relationship between Rajasthan, India, and East Africa. And I am honored to be part of it. India and Kenya share a common legacy of struggle against colonialism. Many Indians participated and supported the freedom struggle of Kenya. India established its office in Commissioner of British East Africa resident in Nairobi in 1948. So after independence, India started relationship with Nairobi with Kenya. India is Kenya's 6th largest trading partner and largest exporter to Kenya. Indian exports to Kenya includes pharmaceutical, steel, machinery, automobiles, while Kenyan exports to India are largely primary commodities like soda ash, vegetables, and tea. The other major Kenyan imports from Rajasthan may be salt, sulfur, earthstone. We have big deposits of marble, granite, and other building materials, plaster, lime, and cement. Kenya is a crucial gateway to East Africa, and its importance as a regional hub for trade and commerce cannot be overstated. I am pleased to note that Kenya imports goods worth around 512 crores in rupees term from Rajasthan alone. So they import from all over India, but Rajasthan also contribute a lot. And this underscores the growing economic ties between our two nations. In the East African countries, Kenya is ranked first to import from Rajasthan. The other important African countries for Rajasthani exporters are Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Madagascar, Mozambique, Mauritius. And in addition to the goods imports from Rajasthan, we also export services, which is IT, healthcare, education, many others. Indo-East Africa Trade Expo is an excellent opportunity for Indian and East African business to come together and explore new avenues for collaboration and partnership. I was talking to the Honorable High Commissioner, Indian High Commissioner in Kenya, and also the Secretary, that Indian exporters who have come here, they can also look for an opportunity to invest in Kenya and grow their business. That can be very, very fruitful. The main sector that hold great potential for cooperation are automotives, engineering, agriculture, textile, education, health services, IT, etc. And I am sure it's worth mentioning that Kenya is world's best safari destination. So when you are here, please visit and go to Masai Mara and see the wildlife in the best you can see in the world. with 50 national parks, reserves that are home to diverse wildlife, including the big fives: lions, leopards, elephants, rhinos, and buffaloes. I was recently there and I enjoyed it thoroughly. As we look to the future, we must continue to explore new avenues for collaboration and cooperation. We must leverage our respective strengths and resources to create new opportunities for trade and investment and build a more prosperous and inclusive world for all. I wish all the participants, who are more than 175 in number, of the Indo-East Africa Trade Expo a successful and productive event. Let us work together to strengthen the economic ties between India and East Africa and create a brighter future for our people. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much. I would like to call upon Rostrum, our guest, Mr. Kishan Gehlot, Chairman of KG Group of Industries, to give his remarks.
Thank you very much. I won't take long. The Honorable PS, Madam Rono, the Minister, and Mr. Rajiv Arora, the Minister of State for the Government of Rajasthan, Commissioner of Rajasthan Foundation, Mr. Dheeraj Srivastav, the High Commissioner of India to Kenya, Madam Mia Kampa, and dignitaries in Kenya and Rajasthan, all protocol observed. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to be here today and becoming part of this wonderful event. And I wish to welcome each one of you who has traveled to Kenya to showcase their products and services for the fulfillment of our mutual interest. Almost 5 decades ago, I came to this country from Rajasthan, and this great nation welcomed me with abundance of the opportunities and helped me in achieving success. The country and its people gave me so much love and affection that I have become one of them. And it is not my story alone. There are many of us who came from different parts of India for works and business opportunities, and this country offered them the best that they could probably expect from it. I also wish to convey my gratitude to the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, Mr. Ashok Gehlot, Federation of Rajasthan Trade and Industry, and the Rajasthan Association of Kenya to organize the Trade Expo, which will surely be a milestone in creating a mutual benefiting business relationship between Kenya and Rajasthan traders. I urge all of you who have come this far to utilize this business opportunity and become part of the growing economy by investing in it. And I can assure you that you will leave with no regrets. At last, I thank you for giving me this opportunity to address you all and wish all of you a great success for your business in this nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kishan Gehlot. Now I would like to call upon podium Dr. Bimal Kantaria to give his address.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency Permanent Principal Secretary, Your Excellency High Commissioner of India, Chairman of Rajasthan Association, Sonveer Singh, Mr. Arora, Mr. Agarwal, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bimal Kantari. I'm the chairman of the United Asian Network, and I represent the Asian community in this country. As you know, the Asian community is based obviously from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Nepal. As Mr. Gehlot said earlier on, a lot of our families have been here for 120 years. My family came here in 1898 during the colonial days, and we've been here ever since. Although our population is relatively small, it's been shrinking over the last few decades, the Indian contribution in the economy is very strong. Over a third of the economy is managed by the Indian community in this country. And for that, I think we should be very grateful for the people of this nation, the Kenyan population, who have allowed us to prosper, to do our business, to practice our religion, have our own temples, have our own schools. And I think we should be very grateful that Kenya is a shining example of what a good partner can be. So when I see all of you from India, from Rajasthan, my only message to all of you is, like your chairman from the Rajasthan Association who came to Kenya 20 years ago and as a prime model, has set up a big factory in this country, is a big investor employing hundreds of people. And if he feels safe to invest in this country, we feel safe to invest in this country, I think you should all consider putting your boots on the ground. Trading is fine. Walk around our factories, come and see our factories if you want to see them. We have a very big manufacturing base in this country. Come and talk to us. You will find this to be an excellent place to invest your money, a safe place to do business, safe place to bring up your children. Once again, Sonver, I want to congratulate you on organizing this wonderful event, and I wish you and your delegates much success. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bimal Kantaria. I would like to call upon stage Mr. Patrick Nyangweso, CEO, Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, to give his address to the audience. We would like to tell Indo-East Africa Expo is organized by Rajasthan Association of Kenya in partnership with KNCCI, 40 and REPC.
Thank you so much, the moderator. I would not take much of your time because good. As you have been told, ladies and gentlemen, the industry players, leaders from India who have made it to this expo, the KNCCI members, I'm Patrick Nyangweso, the CEO of KNCCI. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We have walked a long way with the India Embassy, and we are here as a strategic partner. I want to observe that this expo would be very, very productive if Kenyans take the bold steps to interact and learn and network with the Indian businesses who are showcasing their different products, and if Indians would also take this opportunity to also link up and network for future prosperity and bilateral engagement even after this expo, and KNCCI would be able to connect you going forward. I bring the greetings of the leadership of KNCCI, and I want to just observe on the following because of the time. For us as KNCCI, we know businesses cannot take place if there is no level of trust. From 1980s, Kenya has enjoyed vertical bilateral engagement with India. And I call upon the Kenyan business who are here to take bold steps, check into your exports based on the data I'm going to share with you and see what we can improve. Our trade flows between Kenya and India for the last of 3 years is skewed towards the Indian economy. In 2020, we were able to only export goods worth $72 million against the import of $1.7 million. It has grown 2021. We really improved to $95 million against 2.107 imports. In 2022, this number has gone down. For our exports, it was reduced to 68, and I'm happy that my brother, Dr. Kantaria, is here, and you understand this market. You will be able to encourage Kenyans to improve on their exports to India, because it's a very potential market for us. Compared to $2.1 million. If you check our top exports, that includes tea, coffee, metal, scrap metal, and other products, compared to what we really get from India, we must really roll up our sleeves and improve on value addition, improve on our innovation, and improve on our manufacturing skills by adopting different technologies that India producers presents today. Kenya is today organizing the resources available, and this is now a message to my fellow colleague, the principal secretaries who are here, by focusing on the delivery of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, with priority sectors being cotton is taking the lead, the 6 value chains that we are focusing on, and we are supporting this as private sector, textile, pyrethrum, edible oils, automotive, and affordable housing. To our visitors today, all this presents business opportunity. And we want to challenge our Kenyans to really invest more on value addition so that we really meet the global market requirements. On this, we need to focus to partner better, and I'm just summarizing in the next few minutes. We need to focus to partner better by doing the following. One is focusing on manufacturing through value addition, especially in the 6 value chains I've talked about. India is very perfect when it comes to textile and apparel. And this would increase our industrial development to about $2 billion, which will create job opportunities for our youths and women. We also need to take this expo to the next level by adopting and transferring technology among the Kenyan businesses to make a globally competitive economy through diversification of market attraction by adopting the e-commerce. Today, the Indian economy, e-commerce is the order of the day. Kenyans need to move to the next step by adopting digital and online marketing. The healthcare needs to be improved. We need to really partner to have advanced medical devices, the way Indians have done. And we want to ask the Indian business practitioners who are here, I want to persuade you to consider putting plants in Kenya, just like what the Medihill has done and is offering a lot of employment opportunities to Kenya. As I conclude, I want to say agriculture is very potential in Kenya. The Indians who are here consider buying raw materials from the Kenyan producers. But the Kenyan producers consider exporting the value-added products to the Indian markets to earn more. Through this, we'll be able to enhance and cure the gap which exists between our import and export, big gap. I want to conclude by saying, as Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we'll continuously support the Kenyan business practitioners to access the market in India. This is the only way that we are going to bridge the gap. We'll continue to work with the government of the day to support in those 6 priority areas of value addition. This is the only way we are going to enhance on productivity and increase on our national income and foreign exchange. May God bless you. Asanteni sana. Take the opportunity to go around the expo booths and learn on how they are doing in terms of product development, packaging, and also develop the networking. Asanteni sana.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to call upon Honorable Dr. Swaroop Ranjan Mishra, former MP Kisses constituency, Eldoret, Kenya, to give his address.
Thank you very much. God is good all the time. Amen. The Excellency Ambassador of High Commissioner of India to Kenya, Madam Kampa, the Principal Secretary, Madam Rono, the ministers from India, Federal System, State of Rajasthan, Mr. Arora and Mr. Rafiq Khan, and all protocols observed. Good morning. I'm delighted to be here because I know I have two mothers. The mother who gave me birth is India, and the mother who brought me up is Kenya. So I have two mothers, and they both are great to me in my life. I'm a testimony between the two great countries, by the grace of God today, and the state of Rajasthan, who is situated northwest of India, out of 32 states in India, and I did my higher education. I got my degree from Rajasthan, and I got my wife, who was my classmate in Rajasthan and in SN Medical College, Jodhpur. So I'm very proud and very, very grateful to the state of Rajasthan. And if I tell you Rajasthan is a state, if we compare to our Kenyan county, it's like Muranga and Kiambu, who was full of businessmen. There are no other business other than business. This is one of the richest state of India and produced many, many big and successful, renowned and world leaders in business, not only India, but only Asia, but all the whole world. And some of them, all of them are here. So I think today is a great day, and India and Kenya has many similarities. Not only geographical landscape of mountains, rivers, lakes, highland, lowland, deserts, and so many other things like coastal area, the maritime line, we have similarities. We have also similarities in population, in quality population, in economy, in culture, in diversity, and a lot of many things. And also geopolitical. Both are, Kenya is the youngest sister of India by 13 years from colonial rule. We have the same history and the same governance almost we share. We have two big leader visionaries, the head of state of India and head of state of Kenya. They are having robust policies and also the visions to how to make our countries self-sufficient. Particularly today, our new leadership in Kenya is our vision that each and everything we now won't depend upon anybody. We have to be self-sufficient. So this is the right time. God sent people from India has come to teach us how to be in the leader in the manufacturing unit. I want to request to my Kenyans that every product of supermarket, we should not, within 3 years, we don't buy, we manufacture in Kenya. We have the brains. We have the best airline called Kenya Airways. We have the best athletes in the world. We are now destination of medical tourism for all East and Central Sub-Saharan African countries. So why not we will manufacture? We will buy the raw materials. We have the best brains. Kenya may not have oil and diamond, but we have the best brains which can make diamonds and oil. So this is the time, the great opportunity we have. I request the diplomat, bilateral diplomacy is doing very well between India and Kenya. We have diplomacy in political diplomacy, economical diplomacy, but we have to add cultural diplomacy more often, more intensive, more aggressively, because if we don't know the lady or the man, you cannot marry. The culture, the value of the culture. If you don't know the culture of the country, you cannot do business. So we have to extend and aggressively go into the cultural diplomacy with constitutional diplomacy so that we do better business. I had 3 lives, academics, business, and politics, is by by the Africa. So this is the testimony. What is more than that? One day will come, we need an African MP in India. We need one African minister in India. One day will come, it is not far. And I thank our President, Excellency William Ruto, Dr. William Ruto. He has often made so many Indian origin people from the 44 tribe in the government, high government positions, including Mr. Gehlot is here, Dr. Gehlot, Dr. Kantaria, they all are witness. So we thank our leadership and we thank the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, Gehlot Sahab, and also his team, and Minister Rajiv Arora Sahab and Mr. Khan and the future minister, I don't know, India or Kenya, Mr. Singh. So for this type of activities, let us learn from each other. Business has no tribe, no race, no religion, no geography, nothing. Business has only one religion, one tribe, one race, one clan, one caste, one creed is called money. So if you don't like money, it is your problem. So please, let us make money, let us talk business. All I have got also a name called Kalenjin, name called Kiprop Arab Chelule. Imagine. So my name is Kiprop Arab Chelule. Kiprop means born during rain. Chelule means baptized from outside to inside. What is a great heart of Africa? What you want more than that? So let us say, God bless India, God bless Kenya. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Ms. Raji. I would like to call upon stage High Commissioner of India to Kenya, Her Excellency Ms. Namgya Khampa, to give her address.
Good morning, Jumbo, Namaskar. Honorable Principal Secretary in the Office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Madam Aurelio Rono, Shri Rajiv Arora, who's head of the delegation from the state of Rajasthan in India, and also a former Minister of State. He's also head of many business and trade promotion councils in Rajasthan. Dignitaries on the dais, leadership from KNCCI, businesses from India and Kenya that are present here in this hall today. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to be with you all. I want to extend on behalf of the High Commission a warm welcome to the delegation from Rajasthan, which is a very large state in India's northwestern part. And this delegation is a hybrid delegation that represents high-level government delegates, as well as over 150 companies from various different sectors in Rajasthan. To my mind, it is perhaps amongst the largest such delegations ever to visit Kenya from Rajasthan. And for me, this reflects three things. The first is the interest of Indian businesses in Rajasthan to strengthen economic interaction, trade and investment interaction with their counterparts in Kenya. The second is it reflects the vibrancy and the buoyancy in economic activity and the outbound vision of companies from India and from the state of Rajasthan in this instance. And finally, to me, this presence of this large delegation in Nairobi also reflects the bullishness that we have about the potential of business opportunities with Kenya and the business environment in Kenya that has drawn this large contingent of companies to come here, as you heard, some of them for the very first time, visiting not just Kenya, but any destination in Africa. And to all of them, I say, you've made the right decision. India and Kenya are old friends that are linked by the Indian Ocean, and trade and commerce is at the foundation of our ties, is at the foundation of the linkages that go back into history. This economic engagement that we have had in history has endured through time and continues to propel our ties and remains a defining pillar of our contemporary partnership. Kenya, as you heard, is amongst the largest trading partners for India in sub-Saharan Africa. And last year, that is the last fiscal year of India, our total trade by our data, Indian data, stood at $3.1 billion US. Kenya also attracts a lot of investment from India. In fact, India is amongst the top 3 sources of FDI into Kenya across diverse sectors: finance, textiles, agro-processing, automobiles, telecom, engineering, and IT, information technology. But I believe there is room for much more. India's economic growth and capacities and Kenya's priorities are, at this point, in strong alignment. And India also recognizes Kenya's role as a regional and economic hub for East Africa and a gateway to other countries and markets in this extended region. This, combined with the fact that Kenya is a diversified economy, has a very liberalized business environment, has a large pool of skilled human resources, as well as a strong governmental commitment under the presidency of President William Ruto to strengthen economic linkages and to draw in investment from all over the world, including India. It provides us an ideal set of conditions for both sides to catapult cooperation and to multiply two-way trade and investment linkages. So I just want to encourage the delegation that is present here for the next few days to make the most of their time here in Kenya and to aggressively explore opportunities across sectors with their Kenyan counterparts, with the government as well as business in Kenya, with the support of local partners like KNCCI, and particularly sectors in agro-processing, leather industry, textiles, IT, clean energy and education represent a rich spectrum of areas that can be explored for mutually beneficial trade and investment ties. I just want to conclude by wishing this exhibition and this Indo-Africa Congress every success. I also want to take a moment to recognize the support and the initiative taken by the Rajasthan Association of Kenya under the leadership of Shri Sonvirji in mobilizing this delegation from India and supporting their sort of stay and their participation in this expo here in Kenya. I think this is the kind of bridge building that we need more of through diaspora associations, Indian diaspora associations in Kenya, to really harvest the tremendous opportunities for trade and investment that will take both our countries forward and that will strengthen our old historical partnership and friendship. And we in the High Commission will be very happy to follow up with any leads or any further assistance for companies that are participating in this exhibition for the state of Rajasthan, as well as for Kenyan businesses that are looking at India for partnerships. We deeply encourage it, and we stand here to facilitate and support the process as best as we can. Thank you so much. Asante Nisana.
Thank you so much, Her Excellency. I would like to call upon stage now Madam Aurelien Runo, who is Principal Secretary.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, it's already afternoon, eh? Good afternoon. Okay, I'm Aurelia Rono, PS State Department for Parliamentary Affairs in the Office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, and I'm here to represent His Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, who really wanted to be here with you today, but he could not manage because of unavoidable circumstances. And I'm sure he'll join you next time. Her Excellency Ms. Namkia Kampa, High Commissioner of India to Kenya, Dr. Sanvi Singh, Chairman, Rajasthan Association of Kenya, Mr. Rajiv Agrawal, ex-Minister of State, Rajasthan Tourism Development Corporation, Government of Rajasthan, India, Dr. Dhir Srivastav, Commissioner of Rajasthan Foundation, Dr. Bimal Kantaria, Chairman of Agribusiness Confederation of East Africa, distinguished guests, members of the business community, exhibitors, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take this opportunity to thank the organizers of this important event for making a significant contribution towards advancing trade and investment between India and Kenya. Please receive the assurance of partnership of the Government of the Republic of Kenya with our traders and investors and with the Rajasthan Association of Kenya in this endeavor that showcase opportunities for business in several sectors, from agriculture, agro-processing, and manufacture of items from several other industries. This expo is a powerful marketing tool that provides a platform for Indian businesses and companies to showcase their products and services, therefore enhancing their brand image and visibility. One of the ever-present and mind-boggling challenges for nations across the globe is how to provide opportunities for its citizens to lead decent lives and contribute to the economic development of their countries. This challenge is confronted through a myriad of initiatives such as social welfare and encouragement of private sector businesses and connections for their people. The partnership between the Rajasthan Association of Kenya, the Federation of Rajasthan Trade and Industry, and Rajasthan Export Promotion Council is a commendable effort. Expos like these are thus great platforms to forge and maintain business alliances that spin the economies of countries to even greater heights. It is because of this that I take this early opportunity to thank all present persons and institutions for aspiring to connect with and empower each other through business. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya's economic blueprint envisions a newly industrialized middle-income country providing a high quality of life to all its citizens in a clean and secure environment. India is one of the fast-growing economies in the world. Thus, exhibitions by key sector players is poised to help the country in its bottom-up economic transformation agenda. India is one of the fast-growing economies in the world and a member of the economic bloc of countries known as BRICS. Agricultural, industrial, commercial, and economic cooperation between the business enterprises of Kenya, the East Africa community, and India is therefore very timely and strategic. India and Kenya are maritime neighbors, and the bilateral partnership between the two countries has evolved into a robust and multifaceted partnership, marked by increasing trade and investments, regular high-level visits, as well as extensive people-to-people contacts. Trade relations has remained cordial over the years, and both countries have signed agreements on the promotion and protection of trade and investments. These include India-Kenya trade agreement signed in 1981, under which both countries accorded most favored nation status to each other. followed by a number of India-Kenya Joint Trade Committee meetings, signing of a bilateral double taxation avoidance agreement, setting up of a joint business council, as well as signing of various memoranda of understandings. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, economic transformation is at the heart of the current administration's agenda. To this end, the government has prioritized a number of business-oriented areas as core propellers of economic prosperity under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. These are agriculture, the micro, small, and medium enterprises economy, housing and settlement, healthcare, the digital superhighway, and the creative economy, and lastly, environment and climate change. Any business initiative towards these areas are therefore encouraged. This export, therefore, will greatly spur trade between the two countries in areas of production and manufacturing, especially for the Kenyan audience. I note that the companies exhibiting include those from the sectors of manufacturing, banking, building and material supply, leather, fisheries, oil and gas, handicrafts, construction, automobiles, hospitality, pharmaceuticals, education and energy, amongst other sectors that are important to the Kenya's economy. Already, the country hosts over 60 Indian companies involved in various sectors, some of which is what I've mentioned. May I observe that the country has a relatively well-developed manufacturing base in the Eastern African region. Therefore, exposure of Kenyan investors to the agricultural and industrial sector in India is an investment opportunity to boost the economy and market for the Kenyan products. Distinguished guests, the government is committed to making Kenya an attractive investment destination in various sectors and has put in place incentives to attract foreign businesses. Kenya is a free market economy that is democratic with a well-developed legal system guaranteeing the security of property rights. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to declare the Indo-East Africa Trade Expo 2023 officially opened. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Madam Aurelia Rono. Our guest from Rajasthan, Mr. Dheeraj Srivastava, who is Commissioner of Rajasthan Foundation, Government of India, would actually like to present some exclusive gifts from Rajasthan, and these are exquisite products and brought specially for our dignitaries. So first of all, he would like to present a gift to Principal Secretary, Madam Aurelia Rono.
I would like to request Manisha Arora ji, MD, to join me. Rajiv Arora Sahab, Rafiq Khan Sahab, Suresh Agarwal ji, Sunveer Singh ji, to join me in presenting this.
हो गया इनका
Kindly look here.
Thank you so much, Dheerajji. Thank you so much, Madam Aurelia Rono. Mr. Dheeraj Srivastava would like to present a gift to Her Excellency Ms. Namgya Khampa, High Commissioner of India to Kenya. Thank you so much, Her Excellency. Now, Mr. Dheeraj Srivastava would like to present a gift to Mr. Patrick Nyangweso, who is KNCCI CEO. CEO KNCCI, Mr. Patrick Nyangweso. Thank you so much. Mr. Dheeraj Srivastava would like to present a gift to Mishra ji, whom we call actually fondly Mishra ji. He is Mr. Swaroop Mishra. Dr. Swaroop Ranjan Mishra, former MP, Kisii County, Eldoret, Kenya. Okay. Madam Aurelia Rono, Principal Secretary. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly take your seats. For vote of thanks, I would like to call upon Mr. Rafiq Khan on stage. After vote of thanks, we would be going for exhibition hall tour and ribbon cutting by our chief guest. Before leaving the stage, kindly stay back for a group picture.
Honorable our Chairman Mr. Rajiv Arora ji, Dheeraj Srivastava ji, Commissioner for Rajasthan Foundation, Ms. Orly Rano, Cabinet Secretary, Kenyan Government, our President of 40, Suresh Agarwal ji. A round of applause for Mr. Suresh Agarwal. Everybody knows that this event was dreamed by him only. I want to request you come here. So everybody must know that Mr. Suresh Agarwal, come here please, come here. So Suresh Agarwal, who dreamed for an event, and we all were thinking whether it will be happen or not, and now we are here. Thank you very much. This is the only man who thought of this event, and we are here more than 200% from Rajasthan, and more than 150 participants. So this is a big event in the history of Rajasthan and in the history of India, that a person solely with all his team, Federation of all Rajasthan and Trade and Industry,
We are here for more than 200 people and more than 150 participants. This is the big event this is going to be happen here. So I thank you once again. Our High Commissioner, Ms. Nangyasi Khampa, and Mr. Mishra. Mishra ji told me that he has a wife from Jodhpur, from Rajasthan. So everybody knows this, that there is success behind a man is a woman, and she is from Rajasthan. Sandeep ji, our co-partner here, and Surjaram ji, and I.C. Agarwal sahab. I can say here, I can say to all Kenyan government officials and Miss Aurelia Rani, that hold this man, Suresh Agarwal. You will get everything, industrialist, investor, everyone you can have under his umbrella. And the people that are sitting at home, they are big investors here, and they're known in all around the world, not only in India, but there are industries in all around the world. I want to welcome you on behalf of our State Chief Minister, Mr. Ashok Gehlot, Government of Rajasthan, India, and our President 40, Federation of all Rajasthan Trade and Industry. I want to tell you that we must know about the 40. What is the 40? You have the symbol here, and you have the symbol, the sign everywhere in the event. The 40 is the Federation of all Rajasthan Trade and Industry, where we have traders, we have small manufacturers, we have big investors, we have all kind of industrial associations. This is the Association of Rajasthan, in which we have more than 200 associations are members with us. And we have all kind of industries, like we have Garment Industrial Association, which is called GEAR. They are the association of 40. And we have German Jewelry Association, they are the co-partner of 40. So this is the biggest platform and biggest association in Rajasthan. So on behalf of the 40, I want to thank you all to make success of this event. It gives me immense pleasure to extend very warm greetings to all participants and all buyers for this prestigious event. I am sure this event serves a significant platform for trade and visiting buyers. As you all know, India is attracting business from all around the world. And it is vital to be acquainted with latest trend and technology, accomplish to the need of global customers. I am sure this is the first edition of 40, but we will come again, and it should be a every year event in the Kenya. This will be a milestone to the buyers and supplier, and will be a best sourcing destination among all African countries. Once again, I congratulate to all the organizers, all the executive body of 40, all the members of the 40, and all the participants. I want to thank you all. Thank you, Kenyan government. Thank you, media houses. Thank you, all the participants. And thank you, Mr. Somni ji. Thanks once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Kindly stay back on stage for a group picture. After that, we all proceed to Exhibition Hall for official opening by ribbon cutting. Kindly stand so that all can have a group picture, please. It will not be. Kindly come down so that we can have a group picture here, and then we all can proceed. Yes. Just in front of the stage. Just in front of the stage. Kindly come down and stand here.
First prayer.
Thank you so much, everyone. Kindly proceed to exhibition hall, that so many visitors are actually waiting for the official opening so that they can visit the stalls. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day ahead.
Can you please give him?
Good afternoon, everyone. We are going to start the next session, Indo-African Hepatology and Liver Transplant Congress. I request all the doctors and interested participants to please remain in the hall. We are going to very shortly start the next program on Indo-African Hepatology and Liver Transplant Congress. Namaste. Oh, we met once, no?
I called you yesterday.
Yeah, we were, yes.
You and me both are on same boat. Any why same boat? I'll explain that after this time.
No, you are handsome. It's a common problem before.
See, it's a giver screen wall. So what goes around comes out. He already has the spine position. He's my father. But thank you. He is wearing a belt right now.
Thank you very much.
The wife is here. Yes.
मैं ही खा लेती हूँ
मैं काम करता हूँ जो तुम खाना खिलाते जाओ मैं एक पाइप भी डाल देता हूँ एक पाइप से अल्टरनेट टेक्नोलॉजी
आप अपना कार्ड दीजिएगा मुझे
नंबर ले लीजिए नंबर ले लीजिए कहाँ
इसका नंबर नहीं है ना आप कहाँ से हैं?
मैं दिल्ली से गाँव से
अच्छा ये भी गुड़गांव से ही है
आप मेनू दसो 9 months
think it's too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
करेंगे
0, 9.
हाँ कर देंगे एक सेकंड क्यों भी
Wait.
कैंसिल कर
You have a card? You have a business card?
9.
प्लस 9
No, I don't require.
9818 97 38 double 4 Prasanna that's all happy Prasanna कर रहे
ठीक है ना ये?
आपको मेरे को ना अभी आप एक यहाँ हॉल में वापस ये लूँगा आपको मेरे दिया पक्का यू नो व्हाट इज स्पेलिंग मेरी इंग्लिश खराब है 10 की स्पेलिंग बोल रहे हो डॉक्टर जल्दी ई निकालो बचा क्या वो तुम हो
Hello. Doesn't matter. I request all the doctors and interested participants to please assemble in the hall for the next session on a very interesting topic, liver transplant and hepatology.
Hello, hello, good afternoon, everyone. I request humbly all the doctors and from the medical fraternity and the interested participants to please assemble in the hall so that we can start a very, very interesting program on liver transplant and hepatology. My humble request for your assemble. Thank you. If you are having tea, have a quick tea. But please come and join us in the hall. Thank you very much and enjoy the delicious tea and coffee.
This is an announcement calling for the attention of all the doctors, medical professionals, and the medical fraternity at large. You are invited to come and assemble in the main hall for the event.
Rupesh.
नहीं दिया नहीं nothing.
Yeah, correct.
सर आएंगे तो उनको जाना अच्छा नहीं लगेगा। यह है डॉक्टर आप
Good afternoon, everybody.
Can I stop him?
Yeah, no, don't stop him. Where is he?
No, he's coming for Aga Khan.
Where is he?
Aga Khan Hospital.
Opat also confirmed
Let
for
him be
3
there.
o'clock.
You just tell him program is rescheduled for tomorrow. If you don't mind, you just talk to him. Because the
Let me also talk to Dr.
Tomorrow they will have their own schedule. They might have. Razina was in Cape Town. She came back yesterday.
but you talk to him.
You discuss with them. First sit down before you say. After 5 minutes, we will reschedule.
So one speaker is confirmed tomorrow. Yeah. So if we have that, then we'll be able to. I think that's better.
Can you confirm the time for tomorrow? Huh? Rajula, whatever time.
Whatever time is convenient for you.
But you already confirmed some time with other doctors. No, that is okay. You confirm with Rajula, I will accommodate you. Just hello. Is it possible we can fix for this is after your talk will be Rajula's better. Suno. 11. First 10 to 11 we'll start with and continue. Okay, done. Now let's start.
Ladies and gentlemen, extremely sorry for starting this program so late, but due to some unavoidable circumstances, because it was a mix between the industries and the scientific session. But we will do justice by having a very exhaustive, detailed scientific program for tomorrow. But for today, let us listen to the enlightened speaker. First, at the beginning, I would like to invite the dynamic President of the Kenyan Medical Association, Dr. Simon K. Gondu, a very renowned obstetrician with more than 2 decades of experience heading 14,000 doctors of Kenya. Let us give him a big clap and welcome him to speak.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and esteemed participants, on behalf of the Kenya Medical Association, it is my utmost privilege and honor to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you at this India-Africa Health Expo and Congress. Today marks a significant milestone as we gather here to foster collaboration, exchange knowledge, and forge partnerships in pursuing the advanced healthcare across both our nations. This remarkable event brings together a diverse array of healthcare professionals, policy makers, researchers, and industry leaders from India and Africa. It serves as a testament to our shared commitment to addressing healthcare challenges that we face and find innovative solutions for the betterment of our people. This Indo-African Health Expo and Congress presents a unique platform for dialogue, learning, and networking. It offers us the opportunity to share best practices, leverage our collective expertise, and explore avenues for collaboration in areas such as medical research, healthcare delivery systems, capacity building, and technology integration. As we gather here today and for the next 3 days, we are aware of the numerous health challenges confronting both India and Africa. From inadequate access to healthcare services, limited resources, emerging infectious diseases, to non-communicable diseases, we recognize that our efforts must be united and our actions must be purposeful. Together, we must strive to bridge the gaps in the access to healthcare, to strengthen our healthcare systems, and enhance the delivery of quality care for all our citizens. By leveraging the power of collaboration, we can amplify our impact, we can drive positive change, and create sustainable healthcare solutions tailored to the unique needs of both our communities. The Indo-Africa Health Expo and Congress serves as a platform for sharing knowledge and experiences and innovating ideas. We should use it as an opportunity to harness the transformative potential of healthcare technology, of research breakthroughs and policy interventions. By engaging in fruitful discussions, we can identify common goals, build partnerships, and embark on a shared journey towards improved health outcomes of our people. The Kenya Medical Association is the umbrella professional medical association for doctors in Kenya with a twin mission of doctors' welfare and advocacy for quality healthcare for Kenya and beyond. In line with that mandate, KMA will offer continuous professional CPD points for the 3 CME, continuous medical education activities, that were slated to take place at this expo. The Cancer Congress, which was slated for tomorrow, will be moderated by our own Kenya Medical Association Treasurer General, Dr. Linda Kemunto, who is in the cancer treatment space. The Liver Transplant Congress, which had been slated for today from about 11 to 12, but I think due to the opening ceremony, got lost in the presentation. The Congress presenter, Dr. Abhishek Yadav, happened to have a 6-month interaction with our very own liver surgeon, Dr. Wycliffe Kaisha, whom he tells me he has interacted with and knows during their training in India. and we are excited to receive liver transplant knowledge from the south of India. The cardiology conference will also be moderated by members of KMA. I would like to express my profound gratitude to the organizers, the sponsors, and all those who have contributed to making this event a reality. Your dedication and commitment to promoting collaboration between India and Africa in the healthcare sector is indeed commendable. On conclusion, I urge each one of you to actively participate in the sessions, engage in constructive dialogue, and seize the opportunities presented during this expo and the Congress. Let us harness our collective wisdom and expertise in this room to shape the future of healthcare in India and Africa. Thank you once again for your presence and participation. Together, let us pave the way for a healthier and brighter future. Asanteni sa namaste. Jai Hind.
Simon is a dynamic person like the famous cricketer Simon. It was a very enlightening talk by him, giving a broad picture about how we can participate between the countries for better health care. Now, it's a great pleasure to introduce the next speaker, Dr. Bharat Vyas Marle, who is a very renowned physician. He had finished his graduation from the famous institution, Kasturba Medical College in the southern part of India, and completed his post-graduation in Siddhartha Institute of Medical Sciences, Andhra Pradesh. He had extensive experience having worked in various places in this country. After having worked in India for some time after his post-graduation, he was a consultant at the Khammam Hospital in 2015 to 16. He was a founder and the consultant physician at Chandramouli Hospital, Kodad, consultant physician at Kinsara, DR Congo between 2017 and 18. He was the consultant at the famous Eldoret Hospital, Kenya, from 2018 to 2019. And now he is the pillar and the most resourceful person heading the Meditest Hospital Group, which is going to be commissioned very shortly in Nairobi and Kisii, Kenya. I welcome the dynamic Bharat Vyas Marla to enlighten the group. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can my PowerPoint start? My name is Dr. Bharat Vyas. Second slide, please. Please change the slide. Yeah. Today, I'll be talking to you. The topic I was given to speak is an introduction to digestive and hepatobiliary diseases in Kenya. I'm a senior consultant physician at Department of Internal Medicine at Meditest Hospital Group at Nairobi and Kisii. Next slide, please. So, my presentation will be from a physician's perspective. I am not a specialist in gastroenterology, but I'm a physician. And what is my experience of dealing with the digestive and hepatobiliary diseases in Kenya is the focus of this topic. So before I continue, there are some caveats. In Kenya, unfortunately, especially in rural Kenya and suburban Kenya, we don't have standardized statistics. The numbers I'm showing you today in this presentation are from my own practice. I do diagnostic, no, just go back. I do diagnostic endoscopy and colonoscopy. I don't do interventions, nor procedures. And one more caveat is that the sonography reports in rural and semi-urban Kenya, they are not reliable very much because most of the time they are done by technicians rather than doctors. So most of the time when a abnormality is reported, I tend to go to the ultrasound room myself and check the diagnosis myself and also discuss with my radiology friends. PowerPoint is off. Yeah. Then one more difficulty is that CT and CECT reports, they require second opinion most of the time. That is also because the radiologist who is reporting this stuff, they are most of the time off-site, so they are not, they don't interact with the patients much. That is one thing, and second thing, the quality, what we get, for example, we get 16 slice only in rural and semi-urban Kenya. We don't get 64 slice or 128 slice. So this is also one more difficulty. It also poses a diagnostic challenge. And as far as MRI is concerned, the availability of MRI is very scarce. And where it is available, the image quality is very poor because of 0.3 Tesla being there most of the places. Next slide. Next. I started my practice in internal medicine in 2011 in India. I moved to Kenya in 2018. I worked in Eldoret from May 2018 to July 2019 with Eldoret Hospital as a consultant. Then I joined the Medifort Hospital, which is a branch of Meditest Hospital Group in Kisii. I headed the hospital from November 2019 to November 2022. I moved recently to Nairobi in November 2022, and I've been practicing at Meditest Hospital, Parklands. While in Eldoret, I covered these demographics like Eldoret local, Kitale, Kapsabet, Kakamega, Kericho, Lodwar, Nakuru. These are the places from which I used to get patients. And in Kisii, I covered Kisii, Keroka, Homa Bay, Narok, Nyamira, Kilgoris, Oyugis, Sondu, and Kisumu. These are all the places from which I used to get patients. In fact, I even get patients now. I visit Kisii every second Saturday. Next slide. Next, coming to the topic proper, the factors that are contributing to digestive disease in Kenya when we consider, first and most important is genetics. Because what I have seen in my endoscopies is that up to 60% of the patients will have some kind of gastric inflammation. But when we see the food habits of Kenyans, they don't eat as spicy food as we Indians eat. But still, many of the Kenyans are prone to, inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract, especially the stomach, possibly because of the genetics. The second thing to consider is altered food practices. I have seen in my practice that most Kenyans, they eat a lot of chips, and consumption of, sodas is very high in Kenyan population. So this is also one of the reasons, because what the great-grandfathers of Kenyans ate, that's not the food what the current Kenyans are eating. So this altered dietary habits is what is contributing to the digestive diseases in Kenya. And third thing, irregular diets. I have seen in most of my patients, they don't have a particular time for having, breakfast or lunch or dinner. Many a times they miss even meals. One more thing to consider is constipation. Because most probably because of the hard meats, that is the staple of Kenyan diet, like beef, then goat meat. What gastric passage time is it's too much, and also maybe because of the genetics, maybe because of the inactivity, we don't know. We have seen many habitually constipated people, and which ultimately develop gastritis and gastric inflammation. And when we consider the semi-rural and semi-urban populations of Kenya, hygiene is also very important, because most of the time the stool for H. pylori antigen is positive in them. So there is fecal contamination in the drinking water or in the food. Alcohol consumption, even though when compared to the similar populations in Kenya, it is low, but still it is a significant factor in some populations. Next slide. I have done 500 plus diagnostic upper GI endoscopies from June 2021. These were performed in Kisii and Nairobi centers. Of those 500, I took a cohort of 400 properly documented scopies with biopsy data, and that's what I am presenting here. The age range is 16 years to 86 years. That is the range of the patients in which we have done endoscopy. 48% males and females 52%. I have omitted children with foreign body injections in this study. Patients suspected of varices were not taken up for scopy at our centers because I'm basically a diagnostic endoscopist, not therapeutic. 35% of the studies were normal, that is around 140 subjects, endoscopies were normal. And this is the data concerning the various diagnoses. Esophagitis or GERD is present in 20% of the people. Esophageal candidiasis we have identified in 5.75% of the people, that is mostly in elderly. And esophageal tumors we have identified especially in the lower 1/3 of the esophagus, that is around 4 patients, that constitutes 1%. Hiatus hernia, it is mostly present in obese females. It is in 4.75% prevalence. Gastric mucosal prolapse, even though it is rare, we did manage to see 1 case. Then superficial gastritis, this is the most important part. Most of the subjects we subjected to endoscopy, we found superficial gastritis in the biopsy. Even though there is no morphological feature of any gastric inflammation, the biopsy proved it is superficial gastritis. Chronic gastritis, that is actually acute on chronic gastritis in 89 people, that is 22.25% of the population we studied. This is biopsy proven. H. pylori infections, 8% of the people, that is 32 people. And this is what I want to actually stress more on H. pylori infections. The H. pylori kits are the most misused medicines in semi-urban and rural Kenya. What happens is that our clinical officers and our medical officers, who are the first points of contact, they have to be trained well. They have to be imparted knowledge about the usage of this particular H. pylori kit. Most of them, when the patient comes with gastric symptoms such as pain in the stomach, gas, flatulence, they subject the patients to H. pylori, stool for H. pylori antigen. And once it comes positive, they immediately start H. pylori kits. But what they fail to understand that is that finding H. pylori antigen in the stool is not diagnostic of H. pylori infection. There has to be a national consensus on how to deal with this menace of H. pylori infections. When we see the water, the municipal water in Kenya, most of the time it is dirty, so there is obviously fecal contamination. Even if a drop of water goes into your mouth when people take bath, that can result in H. pylori antigen being positive. Unfortunately, this is not being imported, especially among the clinical officers who are the first point of contact in most of the government facilities. The place where I worked, Kisii, the KTRH hospital, it's a very big hospital. It deals almost 200-300 patients a day, but most of them are dealt by clinical officers. We as consultants should teach our medical officers, who in turn can teach our clinical officers. I have seen many patients using months together H. pylori infection despite having no symptom control. So the gastroenterology societies of Kenya should sit together and they should form a national consensus on how to deal with the menace of H. pylori infections. This is my strong opinion. And we saw gastric ulcers, proven gastric ulcers, morphologically and pathologically in 30%, in 7.5% of the cases, that constitutes 30 people. And we found very few gastric tumors, that is around 4 people we found. Duodenitis we found in 16 people, that is 4%, and duodenal ulcers in 2% of the people. Here also I want to make a point, very interesting point. One patient was referred to me by the KTRH OP, outpatient department, for endoscopy. This patient was a walk-in patient. He was having pain in the abdomen. There was no tenderness. His vitals were normal, so we took up the patient for endoscopy. When I did the endoscopy in the stomach, I found that he has extensive erosive gastritis. Then when I tried to enter the duodenum, there was a lot of edema, and I smelled, I thought something is fishy, I should not proceed further, and I immediately withdrew the scope. Post-procedure, the patient developed pneumoperitoneum. It was actually a case of a tumor arising from the outside of the gastric wall, which was eroding the duodenum. As you know, in rural and semi-urban Kenya, what happens? I called the surgeon immediately for an immediate surgery. But unfortunately, the surgeon was 2 hours away. We had to put though somehow my mind worked at that time, and I had inserted a cystofix. It's like a pigtail into the stomach, into the stomach cavity, and we removed the gas, and we were able to save the patient. So taking up endoscopies is also risky in peripheral Kenya. That patient should have undergone at least, erect abdomen X-ray first before. But unfortunately, my staff had already taken up the patient, and my medical officer reported everything is normal. Patient never had any tenderness. Possibly it could be the case because patient was a diabetic, and his HbA1c was proven to be 11. So he had, the symptoms were subsided because of the uncontrolled diabetes. Then erosive gastritis in 11% of the patients, and Barrett's esophagus, 6% of the patients. I don't know what are the African statistics, but this Barrett's esophagus presence is actually which is causing the esophageal tumors. Next. Colonoscopy. I had done 200 plus scopies from June 2021 in Kisii and Nairobi centers, and out of them I took a cohort of 100 properly documented scopies with biopsy data I'm presenting here. The age range is 25 years to 80 years. 42% of them were males, 58% females. Patients with suspected bleeding hemorrhoids, we referred those patients because I am not a therapeutic scopist. Also, I have not taken patients who has a history of cirrhosis because of, again, causing the bleeding. Out of those, 37 were completely normal studies. We found external hemorrhoids in 16 people, internal hemorrhoids in 33% of the people, bleeding hemorrhoids, but still we found, because patient was asymptomatic but was passing in the stool, that was 10 people. We had 6 people with rectal tumors, descending colon tumors, we found 1. We had polyps in 2 people, diverticular disease in 4 people, ulcerative colitis. Actually, the main reason why I do colonoscopy myself is to treat these ulcerative colitis patients, because this is one of my interests. And non-specific colitis in 2 people. Next. Acute abdomen. I took 100 properly documented acute abdomen cases, but usually what happens is acute abdomen, they are not referred to physician, they are referred to the surgeon usually. But whatever the acute abdomen cases I had encountered, from there I extracted this data in Kisii and Nairobi centers. The age range is 17 to 88 years. Males 33%, females 67%. Next. In acute abdomen, 55% were acid peptic disease or chronic gastritis or gastric ulcers. As I told before, somehow Kenyans are prone to inflammation of the gastric mucosa. That needs to be researched. 19% of them were fecal impaction or chronic constipation. As I told you earlier, again, Kenyan people, especially obese people, are prone to constipation. 5% were appendicitis, 3% was viscous rupture. The case I mentioned, the case what I found, duodenal rupture, is one of those cases we found in acute abdomen diagnosis. I included in acute abdomen diagnosis even though the patient actually has not presented with acute abdomen. 15% are acute cholecystitis, 2% are acute pancreatitis. Pancreatitis occurrence is somehow low. I mean, because I worked in India, I know the incidence of pancreatitis in India. And when compared to India, pancreatitis occurrence is very low in Kenya. 1% is intestinal obstruction. Again, this patient is an elderly man who was bedridden. He had very severe constipation, and he came with obstruction one day, and unfortunately we lost the patient because his metabolic status was also very bad. He spent in the ICU. As we scheduled him for the surgery, we were unable to save him. Hepatobiliary conditions. I'm sorry, I did not bring the data with me for hepatobiliary conditions, but whatever the cases I have encountered, I'm sharing with you. This is because of the, the time I was given for this presentation was too low, and I had too many patients yesterday. The most common hepatobiliary conditions that we encountered in Kenyan patients are gallstones. Recently, I'll share an incident with you. A patient, she was admitted in 2 hospitals. She came with symptoms of jaundice, vomiting, generalized malaise, and 1 or 2 days history of fever. She was admitted in 2 hospitals, and both of them, they suspected only viral hepatitis, and they discharged the patient. Unfortunately, patient didn't have any symptom resolution. She had come to me. So we did we repeated the LFT. Initially, the LFT was bilirubin was 22. Then it started raising slowly. But the confusing point here is that patient had indirect hyperbilirubinemia, not direct bilirubinemia, which we suspect in biliary stasis. So we were keep on searching for hemolysis, but we could not find any. After 3 days, we discharged her again with thinking the same diagnosis, that viral hepatitis, but we have also done hepatitis A, B, and C, even cytomegalovirus we had done. All of them were proven to be negative. I put the patient on symptomatic treatment, and I called her after 5 days for review. On the 5th day after the discharge, when I did the LFT again, the total bilirubin reached 88, and again the indirect bilirubin was very high. So I could not get the diagnosis. This patient I had referred to one hepatologist friend of mine in India. This patient is actually from South Sudan. So and one more thing I have to mention is that we had done a CT here in Nairobi. CT showed a stone at the neck of the gallbladder. But I could not explain why there is indirect hyperbilirubinemia. So this patient was referred to Hyderabad to one of my friend hepatologist, Dr. Chandan in Hyderabad. So they had done the complete review again, and they found that the patient is suffering from Mirizi syndrome. The patient was operated successfully. She was planned for a open cholecystectomy, not lap, because the surgeon wanted to assess the hepatic duct. The surgery was done successfully, and actually I should have brought the slide of that stones. Okay, but it was many stones, and it was a very huge collection, and it was a very difficult surgery. They did open cholecystectomy, and they did not do hepatico-jejunectomy because the hepatic duct was patent. A patient called me today morning also, and she's doing very well. Choledocholithiasis cases do occur in Kenya. I had actually 2 or 3 of them in Kisii. One patient, unfortunately, I lost because the patient was not affording to be referred to Nairobi for a ERCP. Unfortunately, the ERCP also, not in many parts of the Kenya it is available, which is a dire need for treating these kind of diseases. And the cirrhosis cases, what I had encountered, mostly they are alcoholic cirrhosis cases in Kenya. Hepatitis B cases do occur, but they are very sporadic. And HIV and hepatitis B co-infections are also very, very sporadic. Currently, we are treating 2 patients with chronic hepatitis B infection with entecavir and tenofovir. The patients had a viral load of more than 20,000, and patients started showing symptoms. So we follow up all our hepatitis B patients for at least 3 or 6 months LFTs and viral loads. We have not seen any hepatitis C cases in Kenya. There are non-alcoholic fatty liver diseases, but they are underdiagnosed. In my practice, I diagnosed 5 cases of NAFLD in Kenya. And next slide. Cancer of liver also occurs in Kenya, but it is a little rare. But often the patients, they are diagnosed very late. I had a patient from Narok. After the ultrasound, I did the biopsy myself, liver biopsy myself, and the CT showed extensive metastasis into the abdominal cavity and also into the chest. So we could not do more at that time, so we just put the patient on the palliative treatment. Unfortunately, we lost the patient. The patient was also very young. We could not work up further because of the monetary reasons. We also encountered alcoholic pancreatitis cases where, but we are able to manage them well because we caught the attack in the early stage. But we had another patient who came with a very, very high elevation of amylase and lipase, and this patient had come to us after 3 weeks of pancreatitis attack, and nobody diagnosed what is it, and unfortunately we lost that patient. We encountered a case of annular pancreas. This patient was properly worked up. She was the mother of one of my staff nurse. She had annular pancreas, and it led to pancreatitis and pseudocyst of pancreas. And these annular pancreas cases we have seen in females only. Totally 3 females we encountered. We have seen one hypertriglyceridemia causing acute pancreatitis. This we have actually seen in an Indian origin patient in Eldoret. This patient we were able to manage well, and we sent him to India for further workup because he preferred India for ERCP and other stuff. Pancreatic tumors occur seldom, but they are very diagnosed late. This happened with many of our patients. Like we had around 9 patients who had pancreatic tumors, but with extensive metastasis, and we could not do anything in those patients. We just left them for palliative care. And one more interesting case, we had a patient whose CT diagnosis was pancreatic head tumor. But we actually asked him for a CT guided biopsy. He could not do that because of the financial reasons. But he was in follow-up with me. I had done actually endoscopy also. Endoscopy was normal. The reason for endoscopy, I'll tell you why we did it. What happened is after 1 or 2 months of follow-up, patient developed cervical lymphadenopathy, very significant cervical lymphadenopathy. We did a biopsy, a surgeon did a biopsy on the cervical lymphadenopathy. That cervical lymphadenopathy proved to be gastrointestinal stromal tumor. So we know the primary, so we put the patient on chemotherapy. Our oncologist is following up the patient, and the patient is doing very well now, because GIST has a good prognosis if it is put on right drugs. So to conclude, even though Kenya is a resource-poor setting, when followed up properly, when systematic approach is done, when your views are not dogmatic, and when you have an open-mindedness to diagnose, you can do excellent work in Kenya based on whatever the work I have done here. It has been satisfying. That's one of the reasons why I remained in Kenya. I came to Kenya for other reason, but now I'm satisfied with my practice in Kenya because I'm able to help many patients in many ways. Thanks a lot for patient your hearing.
I thank immensely for a very enlightening talk by Dr. Bharat Vyas Janal. The talk is not just the academic, it is the practical, pragmatic experience and taking very vital decisions immediately. So he could save lots of, and the best part is, he being an Indian got adapted to Kenya. I thank him for taking care of the Kenyan population and wish him good luck for his venture to establish a very multi-speciality hospital in the field of his interest. Now, I'm very much delighted to invite the pioneer in liver transplant, a very young Dr. Abhishek Yadav. In India, we have one Abhishek Bachchan who is a very handsome actor. But I think Abhishek Yadav outbeats him even in handsomeness. And now let us hear his intellectuality. Before that, I would like to highlight, he has been into the field of hepatic transplantation for the last 15 years and successfully did transplantation of more than 1,500 patients. The age of the patient, his youngest patient, if I am right, was about 8 or 9 months. Doctor? 6 months. Oh my God. See, that speaks of his dynamism. 6 months baby undergoes transplantation and successfully survives. And the oldest was about 86 years. So it is a myth that age is a factor. Whatever is the treatment to save the patient, one should contemplate it. And Dr. Abhishek is director at the Comprehensive Liver Care Institute and is the Chief Liver Transplantation and Digestive Disease at VPS Lakeshore Hospital in the southern part of India, that is Cochin. And now I invite him to enlighten the group. Give him a big clap for both handsomeness and intellectuality.
Thank you very much, sir. Just one request, can we have a system to control the slides from here? Because otherwise, this, wow, because I have a lot of slides, so I'm wondering how I'm going to.
Can we control here, my dear?
Do you have like a remote? Because what I was thinking is that since we are going to talk again tomorrow, so I was just thinking that I'll just speak for 10 minutes today, and the more technical aspects we can have tomorrow when there are more experts around, you know. Sorry for that. Is it working now? Yeah, perfect. Let me just try if it's... Yep, perfect. So good afternoon, everyone. Sorry for all that confusion that's been happening since morning, but I promise you that tomorrow we'll make it up. When there are more people around, maybe we can have a more technical talk tomorrow. So today, between me and lunch, I think I'll just speak for about 10-15 minutes, just on some interesting topics. And then, like I said, the interesting topics, the more technical bits, we'll talk tomorrow. So I'm Dr. Abhishek, and I come from India, the southern part of India, in a state called Kerala. So I practice there, and that's my hospital. And we had a department of about 25 people, and we do liver transplants and all HPB work on a routine basis. On an annual basis, we do about 75 to 80 liver transplants, both for adults and small children, like sir has already pointed. So, see, liver transplantation is not a new specialty. We in India have been doing liver transplantations for the last 25 years now, and what I wanted to show by this slide is that even after so many years of being into liver transplantation, sometimes when you finish a liver transplant, this is what our operation theatre looks like. And the blood bank people, they call us, doctor, we've run out of blood. We will have to probably get blood from some other blood bank in the city. And we've also had situations where we've done transplants, and every blood bank in the city has run out of that blood group, and yet patients have survived. What I meant to say is that in spite of all the experience, in spite of all the expertise we have, liver transplantation still remains a very formidable challenge. And that is probably a reason why very few centers across the world have gained this expertise in doing liver transplantations. So I'm going to skip through all these details, and this we'll cover later. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to talk about the surgical aspects, like because I'm a surgeon, so I'm going to show you some surgical steps and tell you the basic principles of how a liver transplantation is done, so that everyone will be interested in that. So liver transplantation is a simple, it's a simple undertaking. What basically you're doing is that you are removing someone's diseased liver and you're replacing it by a new healthy liver. So where does this new liver come from? So the new liver can come from one of two sources. It can either come from a brain dead donor, someone who's brain dead, who's got no chance of recovery, but yet their organs can be utilized for transplantation. So that is what is known as a diseased donor, or we call it a cadaveric transplantation or a whole liver transplantation, because after a person is dead, you can take out the whole liver and you can utilize it to transplant into someone who needs the transplant. The other type of transplant is, does anyone want to answer that? What is the other type of transplant that is more common? Cadaver is diseased donor transplant. Any guesses? Where else can a liver come from? Perfect. How many livers does a person have? Yeah, okay. So yeah, unlike a kidney transplant, a person has got two kidneys, so it's quite simple. You can take out one kidney and you can put it in someone else's body. But a liver is a little different. There's only one liver. So the more common type of transplant that especially we do in our part of the country is a living donor transplant, which means is that you have to cut the liver into two parts And believe me, the liver is one organ that God has created which is not meant for transplanting. If the God wanted the liver to be used as a transplanter, he would have created 2 livers. That would have made our transplant surgeons' life much easier. So what makes our life more complicated is that you have to cut a healthy person's liver into 2 bits and make sure that what is remaining behind in the donor does not compromise his health, but at the same time you are also taking out enough liver to kind of be enough for the recipient. Sounds like science fiction, I know, but yes, we do it every day. So it's not that difficult. So what makes liver transplantation feasible is the unique capacity of the liver to regenerate. Now this is, I'm sure this will be information to many of us, that the liver is the only body inside the human, only organ inside the human body which has a capacity to regenerate. What I mean by that is you cut the liver, you remove 80% of someone's liver, and 6 weeks to 8 weeks later you do a CT scan of the person and you see that the liver has grown back to its normal size. So yeah, liver is the only organ which has got this capacity to regenerate, and this is the capacity, the power that God has given to the liver, and this is what we liver surgeons or transplant surgeons exploit in doing living donor transplants. So what we are doing in living donor transplant is, this is how the operation goes like. So we are basically running 2 operation theaters simultaneously. One is called the recipient operation theater, and one is the donor operation theater. In the recipient operation theater, what you're doing is you're removing the unhealthy liver from the patient's body. And in the donor operation theater, you are going to remove a part of the liver and then make it ready, and then you're going to put it inside the recipient's body. So this is how it proceeds. So in the donor, like I said, the donor hepatectomy means removing one of the lobes of the donor. So generally when we are doing transplants for an adult, when we want to give the donor's liver to an adult, we generally take the right side of the liver because the right side is bigger. Right side is about 70% of the liver. When we are transplanting small children, we don't need a big liver. So in that situation, we only take out the left side and then use that to transplant into children. So this is how the operation theater looks like. The first, like I said, that one operation theater, the donor operation is going on. Then explantation is basically removing of the unhealthy liver. And the back table preparation is that, when you have to prepare the liver to be put inside the recipient's body. So this is what the donor operation looks like. This is what what a liver looks like: the bigger right lobe and a smaller left lobe. And of course, there's a lot of pre-operative planning, CT scans, MRI, etc. that have to be done to make sure that where you have to cut the liver, how much liver you have to remove. So those technical aspects I'll probably talk about tomorrow. Today's simple day. So this is So this is what the liver looks like when we are operating it. And you can see all those slings. The red sling is on the hepatic artery. The blue sling is on the portal vein. So the liver is basically you're dissecting the structures that supply. And this is what it looks like. The line that you see that we've drawn is the line which is dividing the left side of the liver from the right side of the liver. And this is how we get that line. And this is how we decide that how we are going to divide the liver. I don't know if there are any surgeons in this audience, but they will agree with me that it's a hugely vascular organ. The liver receives 2 liters of blood supply every minute. So 2 liters of blood is flowing through the liver every minute. So you can imagine how difficult it must be to cut the liver with all that blood flowing through it. And for exactly that reason, we have this special equipment which is known as a QSA machine, and this is what we use to cut the liver. Without this, believe me, it is impossible to cut even through 1 inch of the liver. And this is how it looks like intraoperatively when we are using that machine and we are cutting through the liver. It looks all bloodless, but if you don't have this machine, believe me, you will not be able to do it. I think the angle keeps changing of this. I don't know. It's gone. Excuse me? Can you just turn that maybe system around? Yep. So this is what it looks like when the liver has been divided into two parts. This is the donor's body. You can see that the right and the left part have been completely divided. And then obviously this is the bile duct, so I won't go into the details of discussing that. Next, please. Next. Yeah, and this is what it looks like. You can see that the right lobe of the donor's liver is lying in that on the back table in preservative solution, and this is the left side which is remaining inside the donor's body, and this is what it looks like. But 6 weeks, 8 weeks later, you do a CT scan for the donor, and it would have grown back to its normal size. What a remarkable organ the liver is. So obviously, the donor safety is of paramount importance, because unlike the recipient who already has a disease and has a high chance of dying because of that operation, without that operation, the donor has no business to be undergoing such a major operation. So obviously, as transplant surgeons, our primary responsibility, our moral responsibility is always donor safety, because they are undergoing this major operation only on their goodwill. So if something goes wrong with the donor, that really affects us in every way. So a donor safety is always of utmost importance. And in the meantime, what is going on in the recipient operation theater? Now, when we do kidney transplants, you don't have to remove the diseased kidney to put the new kidney in. Both the kidneys of the recipient stay in place. The new kidney is put in another place. But liver is a big organ. To create space for that big organ to go in, you have to remove the unhealthy liver, because otherwise there will be no space to put the new liver inside. So that is why the first step of a recipient operation is to remove the unhealthy liver. Now we know that all the blood clotting, all the agents, all the proteins responsible for blood clotting in the body are manufactured in the liver. Now you can imagine a liver patient who has no clotting happening in his body, and you're doing a major operation, trying and take out his unhealthy liver. It is quite a challenge. And this is what the recipient's is looking like when we are trying to remove the unhealthy liver, and it does bleed a lot. On an average, we generally have to transfuse between 7 to 8 units of blood during the operation. That's an average. Sometimes it can be more, sometimes less. And yeah, these are the technical steps which I'm going to skip. These are the parts when we are removing the unhealthy liver. And this is again, the liver is almost ready to be removed, and this is the inferior vena cava. You can see that the liver is a half thoracic, half abdominal organ. It sits half inside the thorax and half inside the abdomen. And all the vital structures, the inferior vena cava, the portal vein, are all in very close proximity to each other. That is why hepatobiliary surgery itself is quite a challenging, because we operate in quite a critical and a risky area. Yeah. So this is how it looks like when you can see that the liver is out, and now the next step is going to be preparing to, next please. Next. Yep. And then, so like I said, that the God did not create liver to be an organ to be transplanted. So once we've divided the liver into two parts, it's not that you can just take it out and put it inside the patient. There's a lot of preparation that you have to do. You have to make it suitable. And this is what is known as back table preparation. And this is what we do during the back table preparation. The veins, etc., have to be joined and they have to be extended. And all this while the liver is lying in a cold ice preservative solution, getting ready to be prepared to be implanted inside the recipient's body. Next, please. And then after all this, the graft is ready to be implanted or to be plumbed. We surgeons sometimes call ourselves plumbers because we also do what plumbers do, just making new joints. So yeah, it's called implantation or plumbing. Next, please. So basically there are four, next please. There are only 4 joints that we have to make. We have to make a joint for the blood to go out of the liver, then there are 2 joints to be made for the blood to go inside the liver, and then the bile duct anastomosis. Next, please. Next. And this is the first anastomosis that has been that is being done between the right hepatic vein, because we've taken the right lobe of the donor, and the right hepatic vein is going to be joined to the inferior vena cava. Next, please. And this is what the right lobe looks like once the blood supply to the right lobe has been established from the recipient's body. So this is what the donor's liver looks like when it has been put into the recipient's body and the blood supply has been recirculated. Next, please. And then this is a very small joint, the hepatic artery joint. The size of the hepatic artery is just about 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters. So this looks very magnified, but this is taken in a hugely magnified view, and this is how the hepatic artery joint is made. Next, please. Next. And then the bile duct anastomosis is the final bit of it. Next. And similarly, sometimes, like I said, that sometimes we do transplants for smaller children. So this is what it looks like once that was the right lobe that was put. This is a patient where the left lobe had been taken. So this is a left lobe, what it looks like when it has been implanted into the patient's body. Next, please. And of course, you have to make sure that, so this is a ultrasound or a Doppler examination that we always do on the operation table to make sure that all the joints that we've joined are working well. Next. So I think I'll just stop at that, right? Right? And I think we'll talk more about it tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I really delighted by the talk of Dr. Abhishek Yadav, and I'm sure the group is equally excited. But what it is something like in the movie, there is a trailer and the main movie is yet to come. So today what it was is only for the sensitization. It is just the trailer. The exact movie is tomorrow. So I request all of you, and please transmit this message to all your friends so that the best is received from the best. I once again thank on behalf of the organizers, Dr. Abhishek Yadav, for a wonderful talk, and I pray God that he is bestowed with the blessings to save much more human beings. Thank you. For tomorrow, we end by this, the scientific. Tomorrow is the. Please come. Yeah. May I request my colleague from Kenya to just tell what is the program tomorrow?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Leon Ogoti. Tomorrow, the session will be at Taifa Hall. Yeah, Taifa Hall, and we'll start at 10 a.m. I think please share the information around so that we can have more people. Apologies once more. I think the morning session might have taken a bit longer, but things will be better tomorrow. And we'll end at 5:30 tomorrow. Sorry, not Taifa Hall. It will be at Lenana Hall. Lenana Hall from 10 a.m. to 5:30. Yeah. Thank you.
So it's been a very
enlightening discussion, and it's got me very excited about tomorrow and the scientific discussions that we'll be engaged in. Dr. Abhishek, thank you so much for making time to come and share your expertise and share the experience so that we continue to save lives. So tomorrow we'll be focused still on liver transplant, but we'll also focus on cancer, oncology tomorrow. We have bone marrow transplant specialists who are also with us, so you're welcome. Right now we'll proceed for lunch. We'll all step out and we'll be led to where we'll have lunch. Karibuni sana kesho lenana, bright and early. Let's register so that we have enough time to have fruitful discussions.
One very important announcement for the participants: the certificate will be issued tomorrow for the participation into this conference. Thank you. Please don't miss tomorrow. Thank you. I request everyone to join for the lunch. Your company is equally delicious. Please come.